Welcome to our channel.
Let's uncover the life story of Lady Gaga, the woman who transformed from a struggling artist into one of the most influential pop icons of our generation. This is the story of Stefani Joanne Angelina Germanotta, a girl who dared to be different in a world that demanded conformity, and how she turned her deepest pain into her greatest power. Born on March 28, 1986 in New York City, Stefani Germanotta entered the world as the eldest daughter of Joseph and Cynthia Germanotta. Her father, an Italian-American entrepreneur, and her mother, a telecommunications executive, provided a stable, middle-class upbringing on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. But behind the facade of privilege, young Stefani was already battling demons that would shape her entire existence. From the age of 4, Stefani was playing piano, her tiny fingers dancing across keys with an intensity that seemed almost supernatural. Her Catholic upbringing at the Convent of the Sacred Heart instilled discipline, but it also amplified her sense of being an outsider. She was the weird kid who dressed differently, who saw music not as a hobby but as a lifeline. At 11, she began attending acting classes, but it was music that truly called to her soul. The darkness crept in early. At 13, Stefani experienced trauma that would haunt her for years. She was sexually assaulted by a music producer 20 years her senior. This devastating experience planted seeds of pain that would later bloom into both her greatest vulnerabilities and her most powerful artistic expressions. She carried this secret like a stone in her chest, using music as her only outlet for emotions too complex for words. High school at Sacred Heart was a battlefield of social rejection. Stefani's unconventional style and fierce creativity made her a target for bullying. Students would create Facebook groups dedicated to mocking her appearance. They called her weird, ugly, attention-seeking, but every cruel word only fueled her determination to prove them wrong. She channeled her pain into late-night songwriting sessions, pouring her heart into melodies that would one day move millions. At 17, she gained early admission to NYU's Tisch School of the Arts. But the traditional academic path felt like a cage. After just 1 year, she made the terrifying decision to drop out and pursue music full-time. Her parents were devastated, but Stefani knew she had to follow her calling, even if it meant risking everything. The early career years were brutal. Stefani performed in dingy Lower East Side clubs, often playing to audiences of 5 or 6 people who barely looked up from their drinks. She worked as a waitress, lived in a tiny apartment, and faced rejection after rejection from record labels who couldn't understand her vision. She formed a band called Stefani Germanotta Band, but success remained elusive. In 2007, she met talent scout Wendy Starland, who introduced her to producer Rob Fusari. It was Fusari who accidentally created the name Lady Gaga from a typo of Queen's Radio Gaga. The name stuck, and with it, a new identity was born. This wasn't just a stage name, it was a complete transformation, a rebirth of Stefani into something larger than life. The breakthrough came through an unexpected source. After being dropped by Def Jam Records after just 3 months, Gaga began performing in underground neo-burlesque shows. Her theatrical performances, combining music with visual art and provocative storytelling, caught the attention of Akon, who signed her to his label in 2007. But even then, the path wasn't smooth. Gaga spent months writing songs for other artists, including the Pussycat Dolls and Britney Spears, before finally getting her own shot. When Just Dance was released in 2008, it initially struggled to gain traction. Radio stations weren't sure what to make of this strange new artist who seemed to exist somewhere between pop, dance, and performance art. Then, something magical happened. The song began climbing the charts, eventually reaching #1 in multiple countries. Her debut album, The Fame, became a global phenomenon. But it was Gaga's visual presentation that truly set her apart. She didn't just make music, she created entire worlds, wearing meat dresses, arriving at award shows in giant eggs, and turning every appearance into a piece of performance art. The Fame years were a whirlwind of unprecedented success and devastating personal struggles. Albums like The Fame Monster and Born This Way established her as more than just a pop star. She became a cultural icon. Bad Romance, Poker Face, and Born This Way weren't just songs. They were anthems for the outsiders, the misfits, the people who felt like they didn't belong. Her Born This Way era was particularly transformative. The song became an LGBTQ+ anthem, and Gaga emerged as a fierce advocate for equality and acceptance. She used her platform to speak about bullying, mental health, and sexual assault, turning her personal pain into a message of hope for millions of fans worldwide. The accolades poured in: 13 Grammy Awards, an Academy Award, a Golden Globe, and countless other honors. She became the first woman to win an Academy Award, BAFTA, Critics' Choice Award, and Golden Globe in the same year. Her Super Bowl halftime show performance in 2017 was watched by over 117 million people, cementing her status as one of the greatest live performers of all time. But perhaps her greatest achievement was her ability to constantly reinvent herself. From pop provocateur to jazz crooner alongside Tony Bennett, from actress in A Star Is Born to businesswoman with her cosmetics line, House Labs, Gaga proved that true artistry knows no boundaries. Her personal life has been equally complex and compelling. Relationships with Taylor Kinney and Christian Carino played out in the public eye, but it was her openness about her struggles with fibromyalgia, PTSD, and depression that truly connected her with fans. She revealed her sexual assault publicly in 2014, using her pain to help others heal. Today, Lady Gaga's net worth is estimated at around $320 million, but her true wealth lies in her impact on culture and society. She's not just an entertainer. She's a voice for the voiceless, a beacon of hope for anyone who's ever felt different or broken. What can we learn from Lady Gaga's journey? That our greatest pain can become our greatest power. That being different isn't a weakness, it's a superpower. That authenticity, no matter how uncomfortable, is the only path to true success. She showed us that it's possible to turn trauma into triumph, to transform suffering into art that heals not just ourselves, but countless others. Stefani Germanotta became Lady Gaga not by hiding her struggles, but by embracing them fully. She proved that the very things that make us feel like outcasts can become the foundation of our greatest contributions to the world. If you enjoyed this journey through the extraordinary life of Lady Gaga, like, comment, and subscribe for more legendary life paths only on Celeb Path.